welcome to a new episode of Trip Tease. I am Lia Vincent. Today we're going to talk about Universal Studios Orlando. I spent some time there recently and I was able to do some kind of like behind the scenes. We had some sales reps with us that were able to teach us a little bit about Universal, things I didn't know about Universal that I'm going to share with you today, and also talk about the different hotels and the new things that are coming with a new park that's going to open in 2025. I am not a Universal Studios aficionado at all. So I was there with a group of travel agents and we did a training session where we had classroom training. They talked about new things that were coming for Universal, things that you can do with Universal that a lot of people don't know about. And then we went and toured hotels. So they have the same as Disney where they have different levels of hotels, but theirs are a little bit different where you might get different amenities because of the hotels. I was really impressed with the hotels that they do have. One thing I wanted to make sure everyone knows is the Portofino, which is one of their top three. So they have three that include the Express Pass, but the Portofino, which is one of the three, is under construction. They're doing a lot of updates. So I said, well, it's kind of like the Italy experience. If there's scaffolding everywhere, I mean, that's just like when you're in Italy. Anyway, so it should go through the end of the year. So if you're worried about that kind of thing, Portofino does have some renovations going on. Hard Rock was probably my favorite. Hard Rock is the closest. I mean, it is right there at the park. So if you're wanting something where you're just like, pop, right there, everything's walking distance. It's kind of like Disneyland in California where everything's kind of just feels like it's right there. Hard Rock is going to be your best choice. Hard Rock will also give you the Express Pass. Universal Studios has two parks plus Volcano Bay, and they're building another park, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the top three hotels, you get the Express Pass. Express Pass can go anywhere from, I think $150 to $300 a day. And that gets you that kind of unlimited skip the line access. And you can buy that and add it onto your ticket. But if you're staying at one of the top hotels, the three top hotels, you get it included. And so I had a room key, and then that was what they scanned when we would get to one of the rides. One of the things that's a big bummer is Hagrid's. That's my favorite ride at Universal Studios. That is not included in the Express Pass. And I think, I'm just assuming, because I'm pretty sure it was available when they first, opened Hagrid's and they didn't realize how popular it was going to be. And I bet people were just like riding it again and again and again because it is that fun. I feel like it is. Guardians of the Galaxy at Disney is like the best ride, and Hagrid's is the best ride, in my opinion, at Universal Studios. So I definitely recommend the Express Pass. If you are wanting to kind of level up your Universal Studios experience, and I feel like now Universal has the two parks plus Volcano Bay, it has become more of a destination. It used to be, I feel like, we're going to go to Disney for 4 days and then do 1 day at Universal. Okay, well now with the two parks and the water park, you can make Universal a whole trip in itself, and they're adding another park. So here's a plug for Universal. If you're a Harry Potter fan, did you know they have Harry Potter World in both of the parks? So Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. And you have to have, this is where sometimes I'm like, Universal's more expensive than Disney if you want to do all the things. You have to have a park hopper to go in between the two parks. So they have a Harry Potter train, where you feel like you're arriving at the train station, and they even have this thing where you get to run, and it's got this trick camera effect, I guess. I don't really know how they do it, but you run, and then I have a little video, and it looks like I'm running through the wall, just like he did in the movie. And you get on the train. There's even a video. You feel like the screen, you're looking out the window, that you're really going to be arriving at Hogwarts. And you hear Harry having, a conversation in the hallway. It really is a really neat Harry Potter experience. So I've done this. And then last summer, I even took my kids to Scotland, and it's called the Jacobite train. And it's the real train that they used and they filmed in the movie. My kids, I've tried to get them to be into Harry Potter. I just thought, they're boys. It would be something fun. So they act completely uninterested until we're somewhere like that. And then, of course, they want me to buy them Harry Potter wands and all of the things. But I think it's something that's really neat that you can kind of immerse yourself in and have these different experiences. They have Harry Potter in California. They have Harry Potter in two parks in Orlando. And then you also can do the Jacobite train in Scotland. And then there's also really neat Harry Potter experiences in London as well. Oh, so they have a VIP tour at Universal Studios. Did you know that? They have it at Disney too, and they've had that for a long time. I've done the Disney VIP tour, and it was amazing. I mean, honestly, it was probably one of my most favorite days I've ever had at Disney was a Disney VIP tour. They take you like, in side entrances. They picked us up, like we went back through an employee back exit, and there was a Suburban there picking us up to take us to the back entrance of Hollywood Studios. Amazing. But so expensive. Like usually $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for like 7 hours. Universal has it figured out. So like Disney, that's for 10 people. Universal, okay, like what if you only have 2 people? Do you want to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a VIP tour? Well, they have shared VIP tours. The shared ones start at only about $200 a person. They match you up with people that are similar. So if you are a group, like let's say your family with 2 little kids, they might match you up with another family with little kids or teenagers, that kind of thing. So you have similar things you would most likely like. And then they're going to pick what everyone likes. So like that's the only catch here. For real, that's the catch is if you were like, oh, well, I'm going to go on a Universal VIP tour and I'm just adults and they're going to match me with other adults and I don't like to ride rides. Okay, well then don't do the Universal VIP tour because that's what they're going to take you. They're going to take you to Velocicoaster and Hulk and like all the big rides that you would normally wait in really long lines for. But if you're a ride junkie, this is a perfect option. So you could like maximize your day and be able to get through all of the really big ticketed rides at Universal Studios. They do have the private one. The private one's still expensive. I think they said it starts around $3,500 for 5 people. And then there's like a per person charge up to 12-ish people that you can have over that. But the shared one was just like such an epiphany for me because I've wanted to do the VIP tour, but in order to make it worth it at Disney, I feel like you have to have the full 10 people. And at Universal, you can do the shared one and still really like maximize your time with rides. So VIP tour, we can help you book that. That would be amazing. Let's talk about the new park that's coming to Universal Studios. So 2025, they don't have a specific date yet. They are building some new hotels with it as well, which look incredible. They won't speak yet on what level they're going to be, or if they're going to be, the deluxe, hotels at Universal, or if they're going to be another level. I kind of like seeing them. I'm like, how can these be in the same category? So TBD on that. But the new Universal park is going to be called Epic Universe, and there's 5 different lands that make it up. If you've noticed that with a lot of the theme parks, Disney and Universal, they make up different lands, and it kind of is cool because then it kind of is a little bit for everybody. So let's talk about the different lands that they're going to have. So they have Harry Potter at Epic Universe, of course. They have How to Train Your Dragon. I personally have not seen that movie, so I can't really speak about how excited or not excited I am about that. But obviously it's popular if they're going to make a whole land at their newest park for it. And they're going to have one called Celestial Park, which is all space and astronomy themed. I feel like a lot of their rides, a lot of their movies and stuff that come out, so they'll be able to do rides and themes and everything like that with anything that's astronomy. So I think that's a good move on their part. Dark Universe. So this is all like classic monsters and horror. They have their Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. That's in the fall. And it runs like all of September, October. I've always been too chicken to do that, but it's so popular and there's really neat experiences that you can do with Halloween Horror Nights. So having a whole land that's devoted to the scary movies and the monsters and stuff like that at Universal, I think it's going to be so popular. My youngest is so into, scary everything. So I think that's going to be really exciting. And then, of course, this is my grand finale, a Super Nintendo World. I am super into Super Nintendo World. I went and took the kids when it opened in California. That was in February of 23. But before that, they have the very first Super Nintendo World that was in Japan. So we took the kids this past November to Japan, and the Universal Studios is actually located in Osaka. So Osaka, Japan, I think is really a great spot for it because there's just like so much around that you can easily access it. So we were staying in Kyoto and we took the train, and it was so easy. You could take the train, you had to change one time, and then the trains actually ended and you went up the escalators and you were in City Walk. That just made it so easy to do Universal Studios in Osaka. And they're going to have Super Nintendo World in Florida. I feel like they're going to probably take it up a level from what they have in California. The California one, everything in California, I feel like they're hurting for space. in Orlando, they have so much more real estate. So I hope they make it bigger. The one in Osaka is bigger than the one in California. So I'm really excited about Super Nintendo World. I feel like I was a child of the 80s. So of course we were all into Nintendo, but the kids are still into Nintendo. And I think that it's going to be like kind of fun for all ages. And I'm very pro Super Nintendo World. So I hope you guys will decide to plan a trip to Orlando. Their numbers, that's something that I've talked to both Disney and Universal about. Numbers are down. You know what the good thing about that is? That means the crowds are down. So this is a great opportunity to go ahead and plan a trip to Orlando. I was really impressed with the wait times. I mean, I was there in the middle of April. I would think that that would be a prime time to go. The weather was amazing. It was like 82 and sunny with a cool breeze. I bought a sweatshirt in the evening. I mean, that's to me perfect theme park weather, and the lines weren't too crazy. We can help you at Vincent Vacations plan your days out if you want to kind of maximize your time, or if you want to just wander around. I like to just wander around. That is more fun to me than to like have to stay on a schedule. So you can decide how much you want planned or not planned when you go to these parks. And if you want to have the experience, like a VIP tour and like do all the things and like really like check every single box, you can do that too. So that's the kind of the nice thing about these type of vacations, is that you can really kind of customize or not customize however you want to do it. Let me tell you why I think Universal has like finally gotten it. Because I feel like for years it was kind of like a, we'll just go for a half day, or we'll just do it like as a side trip type of thing. But they've really made this such an immersive experience with Harry Potter. You know, you can buy the wand. They have the games that you can play with the wand. You're going to go at a specific time to see the dragon do the fire, all of the things at Universal Studios Orlando. This one's going to be so much better, you know, better in quotes, because it's so much larger. There's more rides and everything that you can do. You can really, I mean, honestly, when I was standing in the hotel lobby, just talking on the phone, waiting for my friend to get there, it was like Harry Potter kid after Harry Potter kid coming through the lobby in their whole cloaks and their costumes and everything. So the kids just really, really get into it. And now I think they figured it out. It's like light bulb moment with this Nintendo World. So super exciting. Since I've been to both Osaka and Hollywood, I know they're going to do an even more immersive experience. But let me tell you, when you're at Super Nintendo World, I was joking, most expensive day ever, because what they do, and this is, you know, just decide you're going to be nickeled and dimed and get over it. So you have to buy this little wristwatch when you go to Universal Studios for Super Nintendo World. And in order to play the games, you have to have the watch. And then the watch also connects to your app on your phone. And so what, like, for example, you're like hitting things with getting coins, just like, you know, just like in a regular Mario game. And then there's other games where there was one where you had to like hit it at the exact time and get the turtle shell to go into the little tube, just like in a Mario game. And you had these different games you had to play. This is the Hollywood one specifically, but you know, Osaka the same way. So you have the wristwatch and you have to play the games, and then you've getting a little turtle shell or star for each one. And then once you get all of them and it's complete, then you get to go to Bowser's Castle. I mean, it was like, I think it was Bowser Jr.'s castle, but the Bowser Jr.'s castle is like the best part, because now you're like in this 3D experience where you have this huge screen and you're like jumping and you're trying to get the coins and you're trying to kill the little turtle shell type things. They were so hardcore that if you didn't complete each one of the games, then you could not do Bowser Jr.'s castle. And like, that was like my two younger ones were able to get it with their little bracelets, and then my older one missed it by one, and we had to stand in line for another hour. OMG. So he could play the game one more time, so he could get the star, so he could do Bowser's Castle. So complete immersion on this. I mean, even the restaurant, they were, we got hamburgers and then like the little food, like you got an Oreo, but they dipped the Oreo in yellow chocolate or whatever that stuff is called, and like the fondant type chocolate, and then it looked like a coin. It looked like the actual little coin that's in Mario. So exciting that they're going to have that for the Orlando experience, to have the 3 parks plus the Volcano Bay, which Volcano Bay, I mean, that water park is is so amazing. I feel like you'll see like a video on Facebook or whatever, and you're like, wow, where is that? And you think you're like somewhere exotic, and then you like click on it and you're like, oh, Orlando. So it's a really, really neat water park, and you can rent cabanas there if you want to have like a home base, which I think I would recommend, especially if you have older kids that you're going to let loose a little bit. You could rent a cabana, have a home base, and really enjoy Volcano Bay. And you can get a park hopper and be able to go between all of them. That is going to be something I think that as people maybe age out of Disney, which I think Disney in the same instance has figured out how to add more things to appeal to the teenagers, but the teenagers are going to be probably most likely the most into Universal Studios, and they've really added a lot of things and new things coming. But go in 2024. I know a lot of people are going to say they want to wait till 25 when the new things are open. Well, that's when it's going to be crazy crowded. So I'm going to make a plug for 2024. Go to Universal Studios, get the Express Pass, do a shared VIP tour, just do all the things. You only live once. And I think it was a great experience, and people don't even realize how many different things that they have at Universal Studios. I mean, I didn't realize it is quite the operation that they have there in Orlando. Okay, well, I hope today you enjoyed hearing about Universal Studios, and I hope you will go to Universal Studios in 2024. And I hope you'll reach out to us at Vincent Vacations. You can reach us on all of our social media platforms, which is Vincent Vacations on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, or you can just reach out to us at info@vincentvacations.com and send us an email, and we would love to help you plan your trip and for your family to Universal Studios.